Yo, what's going on? Boys, Shannon from my Crowd Sound, and welcome to today's video. In this video, we have a really cool growl bass, and this is what it sounds like. So it sounds really cool. Before we get started, there's actually two variations of this bass, but before we even get there, I just want to let you guys know that we have a Rocket Powered Sound VIP Facebook group. The link's going to be at the top of the description, so go ahead and click that, and you're going to get access to free Serum presets, all that good stuff. It's just like free stuff on a weekly basis. So if you guys like free stuff, click that link. It's free. You got nothing to lose. But anyways, yeah, if you guys like this sound, drop a like as well. It just helps me gauge how you guys are responding to this bass and if you guys actually like the sound. So drop a like if you enjoy the sound. But without further ado, this is the first variation. And then the second one, all we're doing here is on the signal oscillator, which is oscillator B, we're just going to turn up the octave up 3 octaves. Okay. And that's what we hear in the demo. The first one is at 0 and the second one's at +3, so up 3. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump right into this patch. So we're going to be using ring modulation. I know I don't use it too much in my tutorials, but in this bass it really is utilized perfectly. So oscillator A, we're going to turn on to a spectral monster 4. Now from here we're going to turn up 9 voices. Okay, 9 voices. I know you're saying, Shane, what are you doing, buddy? Hear me out. We're going to turn down that detune to about 0.2. We don't want too much of detune in this sound, and then turn up that blend. The phase is going to go up just a tad bit to like 235, somewhere around this range, and then the random phase all the way down. Now you start to hear like a rhythm-esque sound. Okay, we're gonna turn up our wavetable position up all the way, and right off the bat, Monster 4 is obviously a very vocal waveform, so it sounds really good and growls most of the time. So we're gonna use our LFO and make that go back negative 100, so it's just stretching across and cycling through all the waveforms that we see here. But anyways, that sounds great, right? No, I'm kidding. Let's go ahead and move further in. We're just going to create our LFO shape, which will just kind of consist of whatever you want, whatever you're feeling in your song. I'm feeling a little something like this, maybe a big ol' ramp right there. Oh yeah. Turn down that rate. Okay, we're good. On to the next thing. We're going to turn on our ring mod, which is going to be in our warp selection, obviously, and we're going to turn that up 100%. But there's not really anything feeding the sound into. So we're going to turn on our oscillator B, which is going to be our signal. We're going to drop this level first things first because the sound is going to be outputted to oscillator A. Oscillator A is going to be intercepting these frequencies, and then just kind of using the ring modulation to input them into its own. So into the spectral, we're going to select Monster 4, and we're going to leave this at 0 because we're just doing the first variation. You guys already know what to do for the second one. And same kind of deal here with the whole detuning and voices here. We're going to turn up the unison to 9, the detune to about 2, somewhere around there, and then the blend somewhere around this area as well. And then the phase and the random are a little bit different. We're just going to turn down the phase all the way down and the random all the way down as well. So yeah, that's really all of that for the voices section. And the wavetable position we're going to turn up to about 25%. Oh yeah, now we're getting there. I'm kidding. Let's drop this level of oscillator A so we can modulate that. Clean it up a lot. Oops. Okay, doesn't sound good at all. Once again, guys, stick with me here. Okay, we're gonna go into our multis. So multis folder is really just a combination of 2 filters, and in this filter we're going to be using our high pass notch filter. I almost said hyper for a second. I don't know what the heck was processing through my head there, but let's go ahead and turn down this cutoff, and we're going to stick on our LFO number 1 onto there. And really this comes down to whatever you guys want, whatever you're feeling in your track. You can modulate it however you want, but I'm just going to leave it around 54, 55. Turn up that resonance. Turn up the drive so we get a stronger and much more crispier presence of this. And now this part kind of makes a big difference. See, we're going to be running through this notch filter. Okay, and that's really going to be emulating like almost like a talking sound a little bit. Okay, so that's really all we have here for the oscillator panel. And to the effects panel, first things first, we can just turn on our filter here. The filter is going to be a band reject, and this band reject is really what does most of the dirty work here. So the band reject, we're going to turn the cutoff all the way to about like 1,500, 1,400, that range hertz, and yeah, we're just going to turn on our LFO onto there, and then just make it stretch back to about negative 35 points here. Okay, now you're starting to hear it. Turn up the resonance so we get a stronger effect, or you know, a much more potent. No, that's not the right word. You guys get what I'm saying. Turn up that drive as well, and then the width is going to be modulated as well. We're going to be modulating the width to go negative, so turn up the width to about 60%. You know, it's really just kind of making it go from here to like that, and the band reject kind of idea here. The width is going to go down to about negative 45. Okay, onto the hyper. What we're gonna do here is just turn on that mix. You guys know the deal with the dimension, okay? We do this every time. Just turn on that size to a very small value. I can't speak today. Okay, so into our compressor, turn on that multiband. Boost that gain, bro. And now for the final piece, all we're going to do here is turn on our EQ and then just cut out some of these sub frequencies, because we are going to be using an external sub if we're using this in a track. That way we don't have these sub frequencies like clashing and making it really muddy, because we want our songs to be very well mixed. So, you know, once again. Okay, really cool sound here. That's all it took to make this entire bass. Yeah, really cool. Make sure you guys drop a like, as I said before. Drop a comment. I want to know what you guys think of this tutorial in general. What you guys can do to help me improve my series. But that's all we have for today's video. I'm Shannon from Rock Sound, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.